Underbody's making a comeback.
Underbody. Underglow.
Underglow.
LED undercar light kit. No, LED undercar light is making a comeback. Well, I don't know.
Today we are installing an Underglow kit. Underglow kit. Ah!
Oh, does that help somehow?
Yeah, it stretches your jaw muscles and allows you to enunciate better.
How about you just like unhinge your jaw like a snake and eat the whole box here on camera?
And then regurgitate it onto the car and we're done.
Yeah.
Today we are installing an Underglow light kit onto a Honda Accord.
For some reason. Well, actually it makes sense for a Honda
It's actually
Accord.
it's a great reason because our buddy Danny would love to be able to flip on his Underglow as he approaches new rides for Lyft and Uber.
Yeah.
Which I think is very clever. It just adds to the rideshare experience.
I actually agree with you. It kind of makes sense. Like, look for the car with the green lights, and like that makes.
Yeah, dude. In like all seriousness, like if I were waiting for a Lyft and it showed up and it had like matching pink Underglow or like whatever color you wanted to, I'd be pretty stoked about it.
I'd be actually. Yeah. I'd be pretty happy too.
Yeah.
Underglows kind of fell out of style for a little bit.
They did.
They were definitely considered very ricey. I think they might still kind of have that feeling.
I think what happened with the trend was that, you know, like this very simple JDM trend and time attack and like high performance trend kind of took over for like 15 years.
It's a good trend.
It's a great trend.
You know, I think one of the interesting things is when imports started being modded, it was kind of like the thing to kind of change everything.
Yeah.
Like leave nothing original.
Yeah.
And Underglows were a part of that.
Do as much as possible to make the car
not look like a Civic.
As possible. Yeah.
The good thing about these is I actually had many years ago. I had a set of Underglows on my red Integra.
Oh really?
Yeah, but the old set was
neon.
Yeah, it was actual neon. It had like a plexiglass tube that was supposed to not break.
It weighed a lot,
but it did break on the freeway, and I had things dragging behind me. That wasn't too impressive. These are kind of cool though because if you take a look at them, they are very thin LEDs. They're not going to really break on you. They're pretty well protected.
Yeah, it looks good to me. I ran a set of LED turn signals on an old motorcycle and they performed perfectly fine. Okay, so what all came in the kit?
Underglows.
We've got 2 long strips for the sides of the car, it seems.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we have 4 short strips.
2 for the front.
2 for the front, which are these 2 right here.
Yeah.
Because you can see that they have wiring coming out of both ends so that you can run it to the splitter and then connect it to the sides. And then the end pieces,
which only has the 2 wires
they only
to connect
have the
into.
2 to connect into, so that ends on the rear. We're gonna go front to back because obviously all the power is up front.
And the thing about this is this is a 6-piece kit. They intend for you to run 2 pieces like kind of under the front bumper and then 2 pieces under the rear. And one of the things I kind of like about this kit is you're not using a lot of self-tapping screws to drill into the body. It comes with these nice little brackets, which we'll show you guys. And you mount them into the side skirt.
Yeah.
And into the plastic parts of the bumper.
Yeah. So this should be pretty straightforward, so let's get into it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this kit comes with an ashtray plug-in to run the wiring for this, which we do not want to use. We're going to run it to this little switch instead. And to do that, we run the wires from the control box, one into the load. We're going to ground this separately, run a key-on 12-volt power source to this, and make it work. So we'll show you how that all goes together right about now.
So we've pulled the center console out of the car.
Yep, and this switch uses a 15/16 hole, which we're going to use this lovely wood spade bit for. We want to place it here so it's within reach.
So to give you an idea, this is towards the back of the car, this is towards the front, the shifter goes right here, e-brake.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and mount this in a spot where he can easily access it while he's driving. I'm going to use the tip of the bit and a hammer to make a little divot where this drill is going to stay in place while we drill the hole out. So let's grab the drill here. Job well done. That's it. Underglow's installed. Switch is in. We done here.
So
actually, good night, everybody.
If you see right here, it's already turning on the underglows on the car right now.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely,
When you hit the
don't,
switch.
there's no underglow.
Oh, these are on the car. This is an extra set that we had.
Yeah.
It's working. We're done.
Perfect.
Woo!
Job well done, guys.
15-minute install.
Yeah. So anyways, we drilled the hole. It was a bit traumatic, to be honest with you, because this plastic was pretty brittle.
Yeah.
But you know, no big deal. This switch covered it up real nicely. And we're gonna go ahead and take this over to the car and start doing some wiring for you. You go ahead, son.
Yeah, buddy.
Don't put a yeah buddy in there.
Oh, I will.
Oh, God.
I will, yeah, buddy, whenever I damn well please.
Dude, I hate you.
Dude, Jersey Shore is awesome.
So we had to find switched power with the key on, which we found with this multimeter. So we're going to show you that key in, go ahead and put the probe on, and we will have 12 volts. So we know that once we take this key out, power goes away. So this will only work when the key is on, and you won't be able to turn the underglows on all the time and accidentally leave them on, drain your battery, nothing like that. So he'll have the switch, he'll be able to hit the switch when the power's on, it'll turn the underglows on, he'll be able to turn it off. And even if he leaves them on, he turns the car off, they'll stay off.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get this wired in. I don't know what these guys are called, but they're wire splices, and they allow you to connect one wire with power to a new wire. Here's our new wire. It has a little blocking plate right back in here. So you put the new wire in, the blocking plate holds it. You then wrap this around the white wire, in case our power wire, and we're gonna crimp this shut, and we should have power now to this guy. So let's go ahead and do that. I will hold this setup. If you can just slip the white wire, pull it apart and slip it in there. First thing first, crimp on this little guy right here and squeeze it together so it pushes the splice through. Yeah,
Right here?
just like that. Squeeze it together.
Am I fed in properly?
Let me.
I don't want to squeeze it before it's ready.
Yes, you're good. Go ahead and squeeze it.
Ready? Yeah.
Yeah, go. Okay,
Is it good?
that's good. So now we're gonna go ahead and test this real quick. Let's grab the wire stripper and the multimeter I left outside the car. Hold this. Can you strip some wire off that?
Yep. Strip it wire times. Strip it the wire. Yeah.
That was very
Wire
intense.
stripped.
It was very intense, my guy.
Wire stripped.
Okay.
Strip it the wire.
Bro,
Make
what
it
do
a license, a registration.
do
You guys
you-
ever seen Cat in the Hat?
ground wire. Go ahead and give her a touch. And look at that.
Bang.
Power. So now we have power distributed to this red wire, which we need to not pull. Careful with that. So we're gonna hook this guy into the switch.
Yeah, so we'll run this down here.
Yeah, we'll route this wire nicely here in a sec. Hold on, because we need to pull this way. Yeah, go ahead now.
So we'll route this wire right under here.
Decide what the best routing is for your wire. You don't want to block anything. You don't want anything to when, you know, say you're shifting your auto shifter or manual shifter. You don't want the wire to being pulled on because, you know,
Or
you'll pull
pinched.
connections loose.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna make it so your connection isn't strong, and you wanna make your installs last, not fall apart. Another option for this also is to solder it in. We are not soldering it in today. Say la vie. So
We don't need to.
So go ahead and get that wound up and then slot that in here, and I will find our,
It's in wound.
and we're gonna attach this to this female connector that will go on the switch. You doing good?
Yeah.
Okay, give that a little tug.
Good.
And we're cool. Great, so we do not have the connector here because we're not the brightest. Oh, we do actually have the connector here. We are the brightest sometimes.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Smart times.
We brought that whole thing.
Now, the next thing we need to do here is, so this is going to plug into the power side of our switch. There are three sides: power side, load side, ground side. The load side is going to plug into and go through the firewall to the underglows. The ground side, we're going to ground inside here, probably to this bolt here.
Makes sense.
Find whatever's closest for you to ground to, apply a proper ground. You don't want your stuff catching fire.
Why don't we ground here?
The only reason I say we're not going to ground here is just because it's a smaller bolt hole eyelet on the ground side. So we need a smaller bolt, like, you know, a 10 mil or this guy. I'm going to ground here because, you know what, I was getting good readings here.
Oh, you were? Okay.
I was getting good readings here with the multimeter grounding, so we're going to go ahead and ground it here.
Great.
So we know that is a ground point. Smart.
Okay.
There we go.
This is done.
Okay.
Hand me the eyelet.
Yeah, so go ahead and crimp this guy on there. Make sure you crimp these real tight. And also, just a quick heads up. So if you look down there, you should see a line right here at the top. See that little line in there? That's where you want to put the tooth for the crimp. So it'll crimp down hard on both sides.
You want to check my other one?
Yeah, let me look at it real quick. Did you pull on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We're good.
I mean, I did a bunch of wiring on the SV.
Okay.
It was not like...
You also kept the SV for 3 minutes. Has the previous owner called you and told you it burned down to the ground yet?
No, he got in an accident.
Did he really?
Like, literally a month after, and he hadn't even registered it yet.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, so now we have 12 volt switch power, ground for the switch. Now, the quite honestly painful part of getting load, or well, the red wire for the underglows into here. All right, with the switch wired, we now need to wire in the control box, and the control box has the 2 leads for each individual side of the car. To do that, we have to run this wire through to the inside. This right here for me. And running wires through a firewall, the best thing you can do is run it through an already existing grommet. You don't want the spot you run it through to rub against metal because it'll eventually ground the wire out, create more problems.
So the method that we're going to use to feed the wire through to the center console from the firewall is we're going to attach this to some balon wire or something like a wire hanger. So that way you can get some pressure to feed it through. Otherwise you're just going to have floppy wire that you're trying to feed through, and then you're going to have to reach really hard. So this is going to be, it's going to save us some time and headache.
Ah.
Boom!
And I got it. So if our camera lady wants to come over here real quick, we can show where this came through. All right, you look right down there and you can see it right at the bottom there. So the wire is through the firewall. The worst part of this journey is technically over. Okay. So what we need to do now, there's the wire right there.
Yep.
We need to untape it, and then we need to pull the wire into this location here.
So
we're gonna put this guy back in. We gotta hook up some.
But you gotta tell me which one's which and which.
Yeah, hold on. We'll get there. Okay.
Power, load, ground.
There we, okay.
So this one's ground.
Hold on. Okay, good. We're listed on there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
This one's ground.
Yep. Load is in the middle.
Load is in the middle, which that is power. Load is the red one.
Yes.
Right?
The red one is load. There we go.
And power.
And then power onto the end there.
Bang.
And there we are. So we have this neutral now, so we can move this auto shifter out of the way. We have to plug in this guy real quick. So we get the cigarette lighter. Okay, I'm plugging this in. Can you get that other heater piece? Okay, and then we're going to very gently, definitely not hitting.
Do we want to leave this out before we snap it in,
We're not
just
going
in
to snap
case?
it, we'll leave it like this.
Okay.
But we're good. That won't light up until we have
piece
power.
looks really good.
Yeah, it looks good. It's very easily accessible. We're going to put that back in park.
All right, let's
So
extend
now
the
we
wire,
have to-
pop the pieces under, and
Yeah.
finish this up, huh?
Basically.
All right, doing pretty good here.
There you go, Danny.
Dude, look at the bottom.
Yeah, dude, that looks
So
great.
the front's in. Obviously, it's higher off the ground, so you're not going to see it's not going to be as intense looking.
Once it
looks-
gets lower, it'll be fine.
Yeah, once it gets lower, it'll be a lot brighter on the ground, and it's also obviously the sun's out.
But yeah, it looks good, you know?
Heck yeah.
Everything lights, it's not flickering, it's all wired up nice.
All right, so we just got to finish up the.
Well, now we need to put the things in, the little bracket guys.
Yeah.
There's a drill bit on there. You can swap the drill bit out for a Phillips,
Okay.
and just directly put these in. So we'll need 4. Did you turn them off?
Nice.
Yep, you're doing it. There you go. There you go, dog.
Sweet.
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty dope. Heck yeah.
This is one of those better installs. It's actually going pretty well.
So how long did that take? Like legit 4.5 hours?
No, dude, we started at 3:30.
Bruh.
We started.
We were done at like 9:30.
Started at 3:30. Well, I just washed the car.
We were done at 9:30, but it's not 9:30, dog.
So it took 6 hours, unless it took you 2 hours to wash the car.
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. 6 hours with a food break. Like 5 hours. 5.5.
There was some stuff along the way we had to fix.
Yeah. So on this car in particular, the side skirts aren't plastic; they are aluminum body panels.
Yeah.
Not aluminum. They're just
Steel.
metal body.
They're
panels.
stamped steel body panels,
Yeah.
and the screws that were provided were
Not nearly.
very thin, very little.
Yeah, not nearly long or thick enough to create tension with the brackets. that
Yeah.
were provided.
Well, also, you know, the side ones, each one was supplied with 3 brackets, but the middle one didn't have tension at all because the ends where the brackets went were a lot thicker and were able to create tension when we could, but we had to actually wrap some electrical tape around the middle one to be able to make it fit and actually have tension. So
Yeah, that's
that was
definitely design oversight. I think they should have like a little rubber piece in the middle,
something that would create
like a grommet or some kind of like.
I mean, in
create-
fairness, it's very possible that they provided those 2 as extras
yeah,
in case you
maybe.
mess them up.
I don't know.
And they
Maybe-
expected the tape to hold
not,
it.
not for this price range.
But with how long that side LED was, you know, you weren't going to get it to hold. So, yeah.
Realistically, it should have had 4 brackets instead of 3.
And it should have had spots to mount side brackets and
Yeah.
actually, you know, hold into the situation. We ended up having to use some larger sheet metal screws, drill the
Yeah.
holes out a little bigger, and actually get some tension on them. It worked. They're in. You guys will see video of.
You know what honestly would have been a better design strategy is if they had provided us with the equivalent of 6 front ones instead of 2 fronts, 2 sides, and 2 rears. Because then you would have had a more of a modular ability. It would have been easier on production because you
Well,
could
there were
just,
already. If you had 6 front ones, it would have had. It wouldn't have been long enough.
right, but then you just connect 2 front ones that create
Then you
your
would
side.
need 8.
That's what I'm saying. 6 fronts and 2 rears, but
Oh.
2 of your fronts are effectively your sides.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and then you just have the extra brackets with them, and then just a connection on the middle.
Yeah, because you know the spacing on the front ones was actually pretty good.
The fronts were fantastic.
Yeah, they went in
felt
very
super
well.
easily.
And the rears did too. We
Yeah, the rears
managed to
did
find
too.
a really nice spot for it, even with the exhaust being the way on the side.
Yeah.
But you know, the screws on that were fantastic. The brackets worked on that fantastic.
Yeah.
If they would have been about the same length, we wouldn't have had nearly as much of an issue with it.
Yeah.
Trying to hang down.
I mean, I guess you want to have your 2 side pieces because you'll have a lot of wire left over.
Well, yeah, but you
So,
could make short
Yeah.
connectors that effectively just, you know, they're this long on each, and you just connect them together, and then you
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
don't really have that kind of spacing. Realistically, when I'm going to do mine eventually, I'm going to get a bit more pricey kit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think that goes like $80.
I mean,
$50.
after everything was said and done, like it looked really cool, and so I think we're both going to be doing it on our cars.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. And maybe a camera girl would like to do it on her car.
No, my car's already conspicuous enough.
We'll definitely be doing it on her car.
I'll definitely be doing it on the
100%.
R7.
It needs to be quieter then.
No, it does not.
As far as wiring goes, obviously keep the wiring away from your suspension and your exhaust.
And your motor.
We didn't learn that the hard way. We just
No, we did
not
pretty
that
good.
dumb.
We were
We're not
very,
that dumb.
we were very on point with
yeah.
that.
But yeah, we effectively zip tied it to bracing up over the subframe and into the splash guards.
Yeah, because we actually couldn't mount the 2 back ones wanted to be mounted kind of on each side of the bumper, but we couldn't do that because you could do the side without the exhaust like that, but you couldn't do the exhaust side with it. It would have been like hanging weird or
yeah,
just some.
it just wouldn't have been symmetrical.
So we did end up double stacking, like in the same row,
Yeah.
right directly
was
in the
kinda
middle.
cool, 'cause
It still looks good.
Gave it a Hello Kitty dance party.
It
with
did.
a Hello Kitty tow hook
Yeah, it
ornament.
definitely did do that.
Overall, I would say it was a much more complicated install than we had
Initially
expected.
anticipated. Yeah.
But it was,
When we do ours, I'm going to suggest we get more a more expensive kit.
yeah. And
I think that'll really, because they'll have planned out a lot more.
yeah.
you know, in the way of mounting this setup.
Yeah.
Versus having mostly tape and 2 points.
Yeah.
You know.
So overall,
it looks great.
It looks really cool.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
And this one in particular did have an app for
That was cool.
our friend's phone, where there's a big dial on it, and you can kind of spin through different settings. It had a custom color spot where you could kind of adjust your own thing. Realistically, if that kit had had better brackets, it would have been a great kit.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it comes down to. Is
Yeah,
if it had better brackets,
it was really
would have
the
been on point.
mounting, which was kind of the drawback.
Yeah.
If the car had plastic sides,
That would have definitely helped a lot too. The other aspect of this as well, the kit did have the plug-in for the cigarette lighter. We did not use that. We took that wiring, but we ran it to, you know, the switch you guys saw, which I think is a much better solution.
much better because it frees up your accessory, and generally you shouldn't be plugging stuff into your cigarette lighter anyway. Let us know what you think. Do you think that Underglow is making a comeback? Do you want to get Underglow?
Do you think it makes you a racer?
Yeah, do you think it makes you a racer?
If it does.
Do you think it makes you Dominic Toretto?
I don't, well, I guess
Yeah,
I guess
he had red.
The RX-7 did.
Paul Walker had green.
But did he have anything past that?
No,
Because at least
but he had it in the RX-7.
in like Too Fast, Too Furious, you know, well, I mean, Toretto wasn't necessarily in it, but like, he still had Paul Walker with the blue on the Skyline.
Yeah.
But those were all old tube style, which I'm kind of really glad doesn't. They were huge. They were
That's
really.
the one
thick
thing I
tubes.
will say is that like Underglow technology is pretty awesome now.
Yeah, they've
so
really
it's definitely
changed a lot
like
of stuff.
definitely a lot more of a reason to want to run it for like price and like ease of install, weight.
Yeah.
All of these.
It's a lot more
factors.
reliable too, because LEDs, you know, unless you cut it,
Yeah,
it's
the
not
whole
gonna break.
kit weighed like a pound, so it's not like you have an excuse for performance.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. It
So-
was. I think it was definitely worth, you know, the money. I would get
Yeah.
something probably a little more mounting, better system, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, if you liked the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And we'll see you in the next one.
And we appreciate you guys.